Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and in today's video, we're gonna do an unboxing and review of Cisco's 8841 desktop IP phone. But first, you're watching the #1 channel on all things business phone systems and internet service related tips, advice, and educational videos to help you make the best buying decisions, maybe even save yourself a little money along the way. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you're notified when new videos release. Okay, so first and foremost, a little bit of backstory of this phone, why it's here and why we're doing this review. For those of you who may or may not remember, I mentioned in previous shorts and videos that Cisco reviews would be coming soon for two reasons. Number one, a lot of you in the comments were specifically asking, hey Prince, we love your review videos, but how come you never talk about Cisco? So back in early 2022, we actually got a little more acquainted with Cisco, told them that a lot of our viewers were asking for reviews, and I also had the pleasure of interviewing their global lead, which I'll tag that video above, when I was actually at Channel Partners. And so went the relationship with Cisco, and we got permission to not only review this phone, but Cisco actually sent me over a box of what they say are their top 5 IP phones. So this will be the first one in the bunch, so expect a lot more Cisco reviews in the future. As always, big thank you to Cisco for sending this phone over to us at our request, as well as many others. And also thank you so much to the good old boys and girls over at VOIP Supply for handling the shipping and logistics and getting this over to us safe and sound. So without further ado, let's see what's in this box. All right, so looks like we've got here, that looks like your phone kickstand there. Looks like we've also got an Ethernet cable, got our connector cable here. Looks like we've got regulations manual or whatnot. This looks like the actual handset for the phone here. And then last but not least, here is your actual Cisco 8841 phone, and that is just beautiful. Let's go ahead and put this thing together and see what it looks like, first impressions, all set up and powered on. All right guys, so here we are with our Cisco 8841 desktop IP phone. I gotta say, this is a beautiful phone. This is one of the prettier phones to grace this studio since maybe the Poly CCX600 and Yealink's T58W Pro with webcam. It's definitely in the top 3 or top 5 most pretty phones that has come into this office. But before we jump into first impressions on what we got here, quick disclaimer, because there's something different about this phone that I just noticed and spent the last hour trying to figure out for you guys. So if you take a look here, you guys are going to notice that on the screen here, it says enter activation code. I have talked to Cisco, I have talked to VoIP Supply, and I have been back and forth on Google, and I cannot figure out how to get past this code to show you guys some of the stuff on the home screen. That's okay. Nonetheless, we're still gonna do an unboxing and review because I got lots of other data on this phone that I've researched that I wanna go over with you guys. But I found out that this is not only kind of a security measure, but it's also a provisioning and profile type of measure. Meaning, basically you've got to either kind of connect to Cisco's admin profile if you're using this phone on an internal phone system, say like a semi-on-premise or hybrid system, or you've got to connect this thing to your actual provider's profile, such as say Vonage or Dialpad or Nextiva, which of course, as you guys know, if you've watched my other videos about how VoIP works, that would connect to your profile, which has like your login, your voicemail, your contacts list, things like that, and connects to the server that is controlling the provisioning on your Cisco phone here. Since we don't have that because we don't actually use Cisco or WebEx in our office and we review many phones, I can't actually get past this screen, but that's okay. I still got tons we're gonna go over with this phone for you guys today, so let's keep going. As you can see, it's got a really ergonomic design. I dig it. Cisco classifies this as a business class phone, and they also boast that this phone is easy to use. It's got a 5-inch high resolution display, which is actually VGA backlit color display. And they also claim that it has a standard wideband capable audio handset, which you can see here. I'm also told, based on my notes and based on all the research that I've seen, that this uses HD voice. Now, you guys know we review a lot of Poly on this channel, and Poly's got the signature HD voice, but Cisco's got what they call their HD voice. So I'd be curious to know what the quality of this is. Anybody who's watching this that uses a Cisco, by all means, state in the comments below what you think, but I'm just curious in that regard. The other thing is that this phone is really popular for, or is basically hailed for having a renowned, like great user experience. Like people just like the way it feels. The sound quality, the display, like everything kind of comes together in what they claim is a really good user experience. All right, so looking at our buttons and interfaces at a glance, I mean, it's pretty typical. You've got your typical function keys up here. You've got 4 of them. You've got a navigational keypad, which moves, you can go up, down, left, and right. And it's also got a button in the middle that moves on its own, which I guess is like an accept button. You've got your typical in call button here, and then you've got your numeric pad like you do with most phones. It's got a quick button here to go to voicemail, and then it's got a quick settings button and a quick, looks like a phone book, so for contacts button, so that's kind of cool. That's something that's not on every phone. Over here, you've got like a quick pause or put a call on hold, and then you've also got, looks like conferencing buttons here, or to be able to patch out to different lines, like to be able to add another person to the line or do a conference on the fly. And then of course, you got your typical volume up and down button, and then your buttons to control external audio interfaces such as speakerphone interface, headset, and then microphone muting and things like that. Let's go ahead and see what's on the back of this phone for interfaces. All right, so you've got your DC AC adapter port here. As always, this did not come in the box, so we've actually had this plugged up via Ethernet because I've got PoE here in our studio. So just remember, if you need a power cable for this, this will be extra. You've also got your Ethernet LAN port here to be able to connect to your internet, which is what I was using, and it is PoE, because I had power going to it. You do have a pass-through here, which I would assume is gigabit. And then you've got an auxiliary port here. I don't know that this particular Cisco is one of the ones that supports a line card, so I'd be curious to know what this auxiliary port can be used for. You've also got a headset. It's like kind of like an RJ9 type headset port here. And then you've also got your handset port here for the actual handset. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is that this does have the kickstand connected to it. And it looks like it is just a one position. I didn't see any other mounts or anything, and this does not look like it is one of those kind that you can turn backwards to be able to get a variable height. It looks like this just goes in the one position. You got a key lock there. Let me show you guys that cool thing that I found out about this phone by accident. So check this out, guys. If you've ever seen any videos of these different Cisco phones just in passing, like Cisco's marketing collateral, or you've seen it on their website or whatnot, you probably noticed that you can change the colors of these. Like, people have the bezels in different colors. But what I did not know was, when I went to pull off the plastic covering, the like sticky part, when I went to pull that off, the screen actually came up with it, and I thought I had broke the thing or something, but it turns out that this is magnetic. Check this out. So if you look at the back of this, you see that? It's got 4 little magnets there on each corner. And if you look at the actual phone itself, you can see that there are 4 magnetic screws there. So this is an actual magnetic interchangeable bezel. So that's kind of cool, right? Jumping into the technical specifications of the Cisco 8841 IP desk phone. This is a 5-line programmable phone, so you can have up to 5 lines on it. Now, as you can see here, it looks like it's got 10, but according to everything I've researched on this phone, it says that you can have up to 5 lines, or what we otherwise call 5 SIP accounts. It is a PoE phone, so it is power over Ethernet, which is exactly how it's getting its power right now, and it does have a gigabit Ethernet pass-through on it. This phone also supports multi-call per line feature, and you can also do third-party hosted call control and 3-way conferencing. It also has a function called always-on reliability, and it does have a full duplex speakerphone, which you can actually see over here, and it looks like this entire thing is a speakerphone, so that's actually kind of nice there as well. This phone also supports wideband audio for crystal clear communication, and it does use Cisco's HD voice, and it also says that it has audible dual tone multi-frequency capability, also known as DTMF, which is added for an extra layer of security. Now, while we're on this subject, I do want to point out that Cisco has always kind of been the gold standard for security, and we've actually got a handful of customers that use Cisco with Cisco's WebEx platform for these reasons, for a specific standard of security and end-to-end encryption for their phone system and communications. As far as the keys are concerned, this phone supports soft keys, 4-way navigation keys, select keys, hold and resume key, transfer, conference keys, messaging, direct keys, standard keypad, as you can see, volume control keys, speakerphone, headset control, and also mute keys for not only the handset, but also to be able to control the mute function of your speaker and your headset in use. This phone boasts support for all major languages, and it also states that it is energy efficient and eco-friendly because it uses Cisco's EnergyWise technology, which has been qualified by Energy Star. Major calling features that this phone supports are, but are not limited to, busy lamp field, call forwarding, call filter, call history list, call park, call timer, call waiting, direct transfer, conference calling, and call notifications. Okay, so what do I think about this phone? Let's start with the pros. So first, I like the elegant look. As I showed you guys a little earlier, this thing has the ability for you to change the bezel, and the phone also states on Cisco's website and in their descriptions, like on places like VoIP Supply, that you can get different bezels of different colors. So I believe this whole thing can be changed out to have different looks or different colors and whatnot, which is kind of cool. It's a good looking phone. The other thing is the fact that it has HD audio quality, not only for the handset, but also for the speakerphone. So it's nice to know that you would have really exceptional call quality. Another really cool thing that I like about this is that it goes above and beyond in all of its descriptions and boasting that it uses Cisco's EnergyWise technology to reduce energy costs. Now, for those of you like, me, that while we do have a team at Rich Technology Group across the US and some even overseas, we all work kind of in our own home offices and some in an office. But if you understand Cisco, you know that Cisco, while it can be for small business, it does have a big focus in large enterprise, such as hospitals, government, large call centers, things like that. So you may not have just one of these like I do in an office, or like my staff may. You might have 20 of these in an office, or 200 in an office, or 2,000 in an actual building or complex. And if that's the case, energy consumption becomes a really big deal. So that is a big pro there as well. So jumping into the cons, I've only really got 3. First and foremost, this whole thing about enter your activation code is super annoying. Now, I get it. It's probably for security reasons, but we don't personally use Cisco or WebEx internally, so I don't really have a way to log into this. Why do I say that that's a potential con? Well, if you're somebody that wants to try the phone out, it would probably be impossible for you to try this phone out and see what you think about the interface beyond the enter your activation code screen, unless you've got WebEx or you've got a friend or maybe a neighbor or a business colleague that uses it that would allow you to be able to test out the phone. The good news is Cisco seems pretty good about things like demos, not only, virtually, but maybe if you're a large enough company, mid-size to enterprise, I'm sure they'd send you one and allow you to be able to take a look at the interfaces and give you, a test activation code and account to be able to look at it. But for the purposes of what I needed to do, kind of a pain in the butt. Moving on to the other 2 cons that I have about this phone. Number 1, this phone has no Bluetooth support. That is definitely a bummer, but before you throw Cisco out of the window as a potential option, I do believe that they have other phones in the bunch, which we're going to review later, that provide Bluetooth support. And then last but not least, my final con is this particular phone has no Wi-Fi support. It can only be connected via Ethernet. That's not the biggest con I've ever seen. I mean, there's tons of phones I've reviewed on this channel that don't support Wi-Fi, but would have been nice. This isn't one of Cisco's like, oh my God, newer phones, but this is one of their most popular phones from a very popular generation. So I didn't expect this phone to have Bluetooth or Wi-Fi built in. I would expect that on their newer models. This is a phone that is well liked in the Cisco community, has really good compatibility with a lot of providers out there on the market because of its age and maturity in the telecom space. So I still would not take this phone out of your recommendation pool or potential adoption pool if you're looking for something that's got a really nice interface, good customization, good features that everybody likes, but most importantly, has really wide range of compatibility with a lot of providers out there because of its adoption and age in the market. Voice over IP providers, for those of you who are wondering, that are potentially compatible with this phone are Vonage, Nextiva, RingCentral, Dialpad, and of course, WebEx, because WebEx is actually Cisco's, their own voice over IP service that they offer, which is compatible with all Cisco phones that they currently offer. One thing I want to throw out there is just a quick disclaimer, is while I do believe that all of the providers that I just mentioned are compatible with this IP phone, like any IP phone, before you order any phones, especially if you're ordering them from a third-party source other than the provider, you need to double check with your provider that that phone will actually work. And of course, if you're working with us for voice over IP, we're going to make sure that whatever phones you're looking for work with the provider in question. At the time of this video, the approximate price for the Cisco 8841 IP phone is about $200 to $225 through VoIP Supply. Of course, if you talk to them or with the provider that you're talking with that may offer these wholesale with their voice over IP service contract or package, you can probably get it a lot cheaper than that if you're purchasing more than one of these. But as always, I'll have links below this video where you can see not only the current price through VoIP Supply, you can also see some detailed information that I'll have as well. If you're watching this video and you're wondering what VoIP service providers offer this phone, as always, our information is below this video and you can contact us directly. Not only do we work with all of the VoIP service providers that I mentioned we believe are compatible with this phone, we also work with Webex and have worked with Cisco Webex clients that have adopted not only their system, but Cisco phones along with Cisco's hosted voice over IP service Webex. So we can help you out with custom demos, special pricing on quotes with the compatible providers with this phone, as well as if you're looking for this phone through third party like VoIP Supply, we can work with you on special pricing for that if you need just phones and maybe not service. If you found this video helpful or informative, go ahead and show me some love by hitting that like button. And don't forget to subscribe also, because we release new videos every single week. If you subscribe to our channel, that'll make sure that you get notified once new videos upload. As always, this is Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, your go-to guy for the best deals on business phone and internet service in the United States. I'll catch you guys again in the next video.